Welcome in, everybody. Happy March to you. Yes, it's a Tuesday. Yes, it's Election Day. I'm Chris Radcliffe. Glad you found us. But we're going to start with the big political news in the world. Russian forces intensified the siege of Ukraine today. Russian bombs bombarded urban areas, and Ukraine's president called it a blatant campaign of terror.
While the fighting goes on, so does the exodus as civilians scramble over the border hoping to find safety. Jay Gray has more from the Ukrainian border.
Good evening. Look, there has been a constant flow of refugees pouring into Poland across the border throughout the day, and it continues into the evening. Take a look. We're about a mile or so from the actual border gates here at an entry point. So many of these families rushing out of Ukraine as violence tears apart their homeland. Russian troops today with an aggressive advance on Kiev, sending in more soldiers and stepping up air and mortar strikes on the capital city.
And this is a big tragedy for me to leave my city, and actually I don't know am I going to come back or not, and I don't want to leave, but it's completely dangerous to stay here.
The battle has intensified in Kharkiv as well, Ukraine's second largest city, barely hanging on according to those who escaped the violence, like this student who saw 6 of his friends killed and now worries for those left behind. He showed us this video of markets in the city that he says have been empty for 5 days, concerned that those who are there may not die from the attack, but could from starvation.
We sleep with bombing, we get up with bombing, no food, no bread, no water, no tablets, no pharmacy, nothing. And the people of there staying, no money to go out, to run, no money. Ukraine need more help, please help. Their people is so good, you know, except they are.
The emotions for so many here, a lot like the fighting along the front lines and the scramble to survive, intense and overwhelming. Along the Poland-Ukraine border, I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
And as Ukrainians continue fighting for survival, their president, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, pleaded with the EU Parliament today to join the European Union.
He received a standing ovation, but will Europe follow through? 6 News reporter Andrew Moore spoke to several experts today and joins us now. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, Baylor professor Sergei Kudelius was born in Ukraine and has been watching the invasion unfold from Switzerland. Ukraine filed for emergency admittance to the EU yesterday, and Kudelius hopes they accept. But this is not going to be an easy decision. Russia has shown it is willing to send miles of tanks and lose many lives in order to take control of Ukraine. The country also has nuclear weapons and has threatened to respond to any other countries getting involved on the ground. Kudelius says membership into the EU would primarily be an economic partnership and shouldn't warrant more violence. He says it would also recognize the suffering Ukraine has endured so far. But Texas A&M Central Texas expert Jerry Jones says the rest of Europe may believe granting membership will only further escalate the conflict.
Once Ukraine joins the EU, if they're extended an offer to join the EU, then the die is cast. It undermines the chance of some negotiated end to the war.
And that country has long been suffered from Russian pressure, and despite that still persisted with its European dream. And in recognition of that, I think EU has a moral responsibility to Ukraine to recognize its EU aspirations.
Of course, peace talks already broke down on Monday, and joining the EU would not suddenly end the conflict either. The main factor, experts agree, is just how far will Putin be willing to go in order to take Ukraine, and that still remains to be seen. Guys?
Yeah, so many unanswered questions, and it's not just 2 countries involved. This thing is so geopolitical and so complicated. Very scary stuff, Andrew. All right, thank you so much.